Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves Country Today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young. The game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to Eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the Great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. We are getting set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Max Fried versus Brandon Pfaadt. Although you will normally hear me refer to him as Fat Daddy, it's Pfaadt, but it's technically pronounced Pfaadt. And your Atlanta Braves, we're running the same lineup back out there that we had the last couple of nights, except for the fact that Murphy is back in the lineup. So there's that going on, and we've got Max Fried on the mound. Always excited about that. Couple other things to get into here before we let you listen to we got Ozuna and we've got Charlie Morton tonight. So let me go ahead and hit this up. Good evening to everybody out there in the chat. Good evening, all of y'all. We'll be doing roll call here in just a bit. A couple things to get into Braves wise. Ian Anderson is set to pitch tomorrow night in High A Rome. So that came in over the wire about an hour or so ago. So he's continuing to progress. He's thrown 2 starts so far, and it's been in low A, and now he's going to High A Rome. You would think he would get 1, maybe 2 starts there, and then they'll work him towards the Double A, and then they'll just kind of see where they're at from there. We may not see him until mid to late August, maybe even into September. But as far as everything's going with him, so far so good. They're expecting him to contribute on some level this year. If you missed it earlier today, Justin Steele, the Cubs spun 7 scoreless innings in Baltimore. Not only just shot the Orioles, the Cubs sweep the Orioles. And with that, the Dodgers got swept in Philly by the Phillies. I only pointed out the Cubs thing because everyone's going to be ready to crown they're all going to go out there and want to crown the Phillies as the NL champs, the team to beat. But just, first of all, they're at home against a team from the West Coast. You're kind of expected to win that series. And as far as the sweep goes, I followed that series pretty well. The Dodgers really didn't have their top pitchers going, but nonetheless, you can't take it away from them. I just wouldn't overreact. The other thing would be if the Cubs are going to go into Baltimore and sweep them, that's going to be an sense of urgency by the Orioles. So you're probably going to see them get pretty aggressive and start to buy at the deadline. That's a team that has World Series or bust written all over it. Other things going on. There are a lot of rumors that are heating up about Lane Thomas and the Atlanta Braves. We'll see how that plays out. I'm still always skeptical when you talk about getting a guy from a division rival, anyone of note. You'll make minor moves, but it's very rare that you're going to give them what they need, which is what we need is a corner outfielder. We need a corner outfielder with pop who hits from the right side of the plate, and Lane Thomas checks all those boxes. So he'd be a great get. I got to see it to believe it. And the Garrett Crochet rumors are flying around. They don't have the Braves involved in that particular rumor, but that's one again that I got to see that to believe it, because typically if you are a team trying to rebuild, you don't trade away a young southpaw with 3 to 4 years of control left. All right, let's hear from Marcell Ozuna here on this was after the game in the locker room, talking about the Braves offense even though it was a tough loss here, is Marcell Ozuna.
Given how surprising it is to see those guys give up runs, I mean, does that just remind you how good Joe and Pierce have been this year?
Yeah, they've been good. Every time they're gonna make a job, the opponent have to do damage on them, and it's a good game.
How much, when you hit that home run out, how much did you feel like you guys had the momentum and we're going to win that game?
Yeah, we done a battle, we done had some runs. They doing some runs, and we just trying to battle and see who get first. So they get first and then win the game. So it's no doubt that we're gonna sweep them. So
Austin Riley with another multi-hit night, a couple of doubles. What have you seen from him?
he's gonna get back. He's feel good at the play, and I feel happy for him. He's a good person and good player too. So he continued to do damage, and then that's what he need to do.
How comforting has it been to have a bullpen that's so good? I mean, it's like nights like this aren't really happening a lot.
Yeah, they have to be up and down no matter what, because the game is the tell what you need to do in that situation. So he came with the game tie, and then he just not feel good up there, and then it's another night. Tomorrow is another night, and then he probably in again and do his best.
When you see what you've done over 200 plus games, you see some of those numbers. How impressed are you with some of those numbers?
I didn't see those numbers, but it's then I come in every day happy and do my best and get my routine, and then I help the team. That's the most important thing for me every time coming to the stadium.
When you think about the consistency of this offense right now, how much is mental, how much is momentum?
The mental is fresh. We come in happy every single day, and then we go out there between the lines and do our best, and then I play the little things of the game, and then I do damage. That's what we need to do every single night when we go out there, and then I help our pitcher to have a good game.
So that was Marcell Ozuna, and then we're going to finish this off with Charlie Morton. They asked Charlie Morton about his outing last night.
In the third, it feels like gosh, Charlie, outside of just the home runs given up in the second and third, it feels like you really settled in, had a 1-2-3 inning in the sixth. How'd you feel tonight?
Yeah, that felt pretty good. Yeah, that 3-2 breaking ball, as far as I mean, I don't know. He's clearly just sitting on it, outer half. The homer to Marte, just 2-0, sinker, middle. Yeah, it stinks. 2 pitches, and just like last time.
How difficult is that, or how do you view that when it is 2 important pitches, but otherwise you pitch very well?
I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know. It's still frustrating, I really don't know. I don't know how to feel about that one. Just kind of like the last one. Like I said, it's just kind of. It's like you look back and you're like, man, you want those 2 back.
Just how surprising, or does that just remind you how good this bullpen has been when it's you kind of look and you're surprised when they give up runs like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those nights. It's gonna happen, and
I'm good.
it's hard to be as good as they've been, and but that's just baseball. It's gonna happen. And, those guys are really good down there. They're doing a great job.
How about what you've seen from Marcell here for 14 months or 200 plus games? I mean, you probably haven't seen too many players have a run like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like the first, I don't know, the first whatever month it was last year. It was kind of sneaky, like the season he had, and then you look back at it and what he did last year was awesome. And like you said, it's just a continuation of that. But I think last time we talked about that, just how good of a hitter he is. Just the power aside, like just the hands, the bat to ball, and for him to be doing what he's been doing now, I think I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome to see. I've known he was a really good hitter, and I'm really happy for him to have the way he's hit the ball, man. Like you said, for the past over a year now, really impressive.
This is the 6th straight game that this group has scored 5 or more runs. Just, I know you're focused on what you're doing in terms of pitching, but what kind of support does that provide mentally for the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't want to have to think about what the offense is going to do. Like, it's just not a part of what the game plan. It's not a part of how you prep yourself or how you prepare for a game or mentally prepare for a game. I think for the room though, for the guys, how they feel, the momentum, I think that's what's important. Yeah, sure, we need to score runs to win, but when the guys aren't themselves, it's kind of like if you're winning, like there's still that feeling like just something's kind of off. So I think that's more when the guys are scoring runs or hitting, maybe a little bit of pop, a little bit of power, and you start to see guys that they're themselves and are a little more comfortable in the box and where they are, with the swing and their approach.
So that was Charlie Morton. Look, he didn't have a great game last night. He also didn't have a terrible game. I still contend, and I know we all say things in the heat of the moment, and I did last night, but I'm gonna stand behind it. I feel like that it was a very badly managed, very, very poorly managed bullpen last night. In the times that they brought guys in, they left Charlie Morton in a little too long. That's number one. Number two, when we go into the bottom of the 8th, I believe, with Jimenez coming to the mound to face their 3 top guys in the order, and they were all left-handers. And yet you've got AJ Minter sitting out there. So why the hell aren't you doing that? If you didn't want to go with Minter, you did bring Dylan Lee back up last night. He was ready to roll, so you could have done that as well. So any way that you wanted to go, you should have went lefty. Instead, they went right into the teeth of him with righty versus lefty. It's one thing for him to have to face maybe a couple of lefties, but it's sprinkled in with the righty. All right, whatever. And they want to see how he's going to fare. But for the 3 guys in the order, back to back to back, to all be left-handed and at the top of the order, it's insane to bring him in when you have lefty options. So that right there to me is realistically what lost the game. But it happens, and we'll just have to see how it unfolds tonight. Atlanta Braves. Got something going on my screen. It keeps blinking every once in a while. So if I do lose you for some reason, let me know. I don't know what to do about it. It's just the monitor, I believe, because I was paying attention to the feed. I don't think it has affected anything on the actual feed, but it could get hairy. But once we get it up and going with the scoreboard, we should be okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump out of here and give you the lineups here, and we'll do roll call here in a second. I'm gonna take Kid Kelnick again, but take him to Click. And the reason why, he is 2 for 3 lifetime against Brandon Pfaadt. I feel like he's putting some good swings on the ball, and a couple of them he just has missed. So I like Kid Kelnick to Click tonight. Other guys to keep an eye on, Marcell Ozuna is 2 for 3 lifetime versus Brandon Pfaadt. He does have a home run, 4 RBI. So that is to be that is of interest. Ozzie is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Riley's 1 for 3. Olson's 1 for 2. None of them have gone yard. Rosario is 1 for 3, and Arcia is 0 for 3. Murphy and Duvall have never faced him. The one thing I will say about this, if you faced him some point early last year, it's not the same Brandon Pfaadt that pitched in the postseason. And he's been kind of a mix and match this year, but he's been pretty good. But he has given up crooked numbers here the last several starts. The only 2 outings where he did not give up crooked numbers were against really bad offenses. He did it against the A's, and I think the other team, it was either the Rockies or it might have been Seattle, but it wasn't great offenses that he went up against. So there you have that. All right, I'm going to take the Braves to win 7-2. Kid Kelnick to Click, and we'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio. Pitch by pitch, play by play. Get set, get ready, go.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, but 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, where we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Kid Kelnick. Jared Kelnick has 10 home runs, 29 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .269. Batting second, playing second, Ozzie Albies. The Wiz has 8 home runs, 44 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .257. Batting third, playing third, Austin Riley. He'll be manning the hot corner with 12 home runs, 38 RBI, batting .259. Batting cleanup and playing first, Matt Olson. Matt Olson comes in batting .237, 43 RBI, 13 home runs. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 24 home runs, 75 RBI, batting .296. Batting sixth and in right field, it's Adam Duvall. 8 home runs, 25 RBI, batting .188. Batting seventh and in left field, it's Eddie Ring Around the Rosario. 7 home runs, 26 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .183. Batting eighth and behind home plate, it's Sean Murphy. Smurf has 5 home runs, 12 RBI, batting .225. And batting ninth, playing short, it's Orlando Arcia. The Magic Kingdom has a .206 average, 6 home runs, and 23 RBI. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Max Fried Day. 7-4 with a 3.18 ERA and a 1.15 whip. 102 innings pitched with 88 strikeouts versus 86 hits, 31 walks, and 8 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Brandon Pfaadt. Pfaadt is 3-6 with a 4.19 ERA. A 1.19 whip, 107 innings pitched, 102 hits allowed, 100 strikeouts, 26 walks, and 14 home runs served. Backing up Pfaadt in the bottom of the first inning, leading off the designated hitter, Ketel Marte. 18 home runs, 52 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .283. Gabby Moreno batting second and behind home plate. 4 home runs, 31 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .251. Randall Grichuk is in left field and batting third. 3 home runs, 20 RBI, batting .279. Batting cleanup and playing first, it's Christian Walker. 22 home runs, 66 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .263. Batting fifth, playing center field, it's Jake McCarthy. 3 home runs, 21 RBI, 13 stolen bases, batting .278. Eugenio Suarez is batting sixth and playing third. 8 home runs, 43 RBI, 2 stolen base, batting .208. Corbin Carroll batting seventh, 3 home runs, 25 RBI, 16 stolen bases, batting .211. Batting eighth and playing second, hello Newman, 2 home runs, 20 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .286. Perdomo is batting ninth and at short. He has 10 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .294. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, Manny Gonzalez. Your first base umpire is Todd Titchener. Second base will be manned by Paul Clemens, and down the third base line, it's Corey Blazer. Your Atlanta Braves come in 11 over 500 at 51-40, 22-23 on the road. Arizona is 46-47, 23-23 at home. Your Atlanta Braves come in minus 115 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. Game time temperatures out here in the desert are expected to be 111 degrees at first pitch, but the roof will be closed. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Diamondbacks, game 4 of a 4-game set. Atlanta Braves won the first 2. Arizona grabbed last night. Atlanta looks to win game number 4 and take the series. Max Fried Day, so we got the Max Fried emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members. If you're not a member yet, what are you waiting for? Join the Country Club today. Warm up those chop arms, Country Club. Braves Country, get your game face on.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Country Club members. I see the GOAT. I see Charlie. I see Gary the Real McCoy. Star Wars. I see Mark Ricardo. Lucy.
Get this bus moving.
I see
Stop.
David
Come back.
X.
Too late.
I see Richie
Roll
Rose.
call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves.
I see Brian Andrews, Country Club member. See if we see anyone else jump in here. Nathaniel Brooks, Country Club member. I'm assuming Edward Spry's in here. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll just assume he's here. Also, non-Country Club members, the Braves come set with their road grays to the plate. Jared Kelnick stands in, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Braves are wearing their road grays, Atlanta across the chest, tomahawk underneath, all in red outlined in navy. The 0-1, P at the knees, 96, 0-2. Navy. The names are Navy on the back, Navy ball caps with the white A on the front. Arizona wearing their white pants and maroon tops, maroon caps. The 0-2. Swing! That ball's roasted over towards first. That is a hard hit ball, but an atom ball. Christian Walker will step on the pillow, 1 away. Thought Spry was here. Also in Braves country, I see Marguerite. We see A.Y., Richard Phillips. Ozzie Albies comes to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss up top. It's 0-1. See who else we have here on this Thursday night. The 4th game of this 9:40 nonsense. The 0-1. Fought comes set. Kicks and fires, swung on, pops it up. High in the sky. Shallow center field. 2 away. 2 down. I believe I said hi to Charlie. I believe that's everybody. If we missed anybody, just jump into the chat. Let us know where you're at, where you're listening from. Austin Riley will come to the plate. We refocus on the game. First pitch to Austin is up top, 86 mile an hour. Calling that a sweeper, but it really looks more like a flat slider or a change. It doesn't really sweep. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 95 up top. Blew him away. 0-2. You'll see 6 different pitches from Brandon Pfaadt. Fat Daddy has a 4-seam, a sweeper, a sinker, and a change. Those he mixes in quite a bit. Every once in a while, the curve and the split. The 0-2. Swing! Fouls it back. Sweeper off the edge. We'll do it again. 4-seam fastball 35% of the time, and he can get it up there in the mid-90s. The sweeper at 29%, sinker 21%, and the change 10% of the time. The 0-2 to Riley. Down and away. 1-2. Just have a hard time calling what they're calling a sweeper. It is not sweeping at all. At the most, it's a slider. The 1-2 from Fott. Lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Braves go really quietly. We'll grab the bats. Oh, excuse me. We'll get on the field. They'll grab the bats. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Y'all be flirting with me on every app, except for Cash App.
So it says here you're fast with math? Extremely. That's impressive. What's 31 times 17? 47. It's not even close, but it was fast.
My trolls out there wondering if I am a man dressed as a woman. If you gotta question it, I'm gonna say it's a natural woman. Because have you seen the surgeries nowadays? Oh my God, God.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Going out drinking is not the same fun activity that it used to be. I'll be waking up in critical condition.
Say the weird thing. People are desperately seeking realness.
You have never once heard the Monster Mash. You've heard a song that they call the Monster Mash, but you've never once heard the real song, the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash that we know is describing a party, but you never actually hear the Monster Mash they're describing itself.
Before I work on myself, does anyone like me insane?
But now the pressure on Maris intensified. Would he break Ruth's record? Reporters asked again and again. How the hell do I know? He answered. I don't want to be Babe Ruth. He wasn't Babe Ruth. And Yankee fans never let him forget it. Even the front office tried to change the lineup to favor the more popular Mantle. Under the relentless strain, Maris's hair began to fall out in clumps. Always taciturn, he now kept silent, refusing most interviews, keeping to himself. Through it all, Maris kept hitting, and in mid-September, Mantle's injuries finally forced him out of the race with 54 home runs.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way, high and inside to Ketel Marte. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty, righty, Max Fried. Come set, deliver, swing. That ball's belted high and deep, but just left of the foul pole, 1-1. Marte went yard last night, his 18th home run of the year. I think what's most, I see y'all talking about Schwellenbach. I think what's most remarkable about Schwellenbach is the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Sinker on the edge, 96, 1-2. So he was a shortstop at Nebraska. He didn't start pitching till his final year there. And then when he came off of that final year and was drafted by Atlanta, he immediately had surgery. So he does not have any realistic experience to lean on. The 1-2. Sinker down and in, 2-2. They didn't have him working on all his pitches that you see him doing now down in the minor leagues. Because in the minor leagues, they don't really focus on that kind of stuff. It's when he got up here that they started playing around with it. The 2-2 from Fried. Kicks and fires. Swing. Pops it up. High down the right field line, giving chases Duvall. He could not get there. Falls to the turf, but well out of his reach. 2-2. The 2-2 count. Yeah, I would love to see Nacho Alvarez up here, Cam. It just looks like that they're worried about service time. The 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3-3-2. So Max was out in front, started nibbling, and now it's a full count to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the first. The 3-2 from Fried. Kicks and fires. Swung on. That ball is hammered up the middle. It's a worm burner into center field. And the Diamondbacks have one on, nobody out to start the game. 1 on, nobody out. I believe Cam was the one that was talking about Nacho Alvarez. He did. He was. 1 on, nobody out. Lefty-righty matchup. Fried delivers. Swing. Slices it foul down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Welcome in Cam. Is it Mick? Okay, I'm probably going to butcher this. McEachern? Or excuse me, McEacham. The 0-1. Inside. 1-1. Not sure if Cam's been here before, but nonetheless, welcome in, Cam. 1-1 count. Lefty, righty, runner on first. Nobody out. The pitch from Mac Magee. Swing. Bangs it foul down the line. Slider 1-2. You'd like to see him go after him and get out of here quickly. Gotcha, Cam. I wasn't 100% sure. I've seen some Cams in the chat. Wasn't sure if that was you. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Chased that curveball. We'll do it again, 1-2. Fried, by the way, up to 11 pitches already. We have not recorded an out yet. Love a double play ball. Braves nothing. Arizona nothing. Bottom of the first inning. The 1-2 from Max. Southpaw delivers. Swung on. That ball is rifled over to third. Snagged by Austin Riley. Nice defensive play by the rake. 1 away. Man, oh man alive. Hard hit ball was scalded. And if he doesn't make that play, it might have been a run. It would have rattled around down there in the corner. Tel Marte's got very good speed. But instead, it's 1 on, 1 out. A double play would get us out of this now. Randall Gritchick to the plate, batting .279. First pitch on the way. Curve ball off the edge, 1-0. Randall Gritchick, right-handed outfielder. Strangely enough, tonight, we were talking about this last night, they actually have Corbin Carroll in the lineup. The 1-0. Swung on, high chopper over towards Ozzie. He's going to have to barehand it, and he's got no chance. It's going to be an infield single. He hit it past the mound, and the left-hander Fried was fading towards the third base side, so he had no chance. And then Ozzie had to hold up as the runner was cutting across him. I don't think he would have gotten him anyways, but he had to wait up a second. By the time he got it, he had no chance. So 2 on, nobody out, and their cleanup hitter with 22 home runs is standing at the plate. Lefty-righty matchup. Batting .263 on the year. The first pitch swung on. That ball's roasted over Riley. It's going to be a 5, 4, 3. Inning, double play. And just like that, we get out of it. We'll be back in a flash. Braves will grab the sticks. 0-0 your score.
Brian, could you do me a favor and pull up your calendar so we can see a time that would work best for everybody?
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm pretty booked next week.
Okay, I am too. So, but I do have some time between 9 and 10 on Tuesday, and then I can actually do Wednesday between 12 and 3 if that.
Brian, is this your personal calendar or your work calendar?
It's my work calendar, but there's some...
Do you have a pre-planned excuse for running late on Monday? The excuse was traffic and we work from home, so I don't... Amanda, you said 12 to 3 on Wednesday. I have an opening at 2.
So 2 p.m. I have nap time, but I guess I could push that back.
That's definitely not a priority for the workday. Oh. So 2 o'clock on Wednesday, we'll pencil that in.
I actually have nap time then too.
Tony Gwynn had more 4-hit games in his career than he did multi-strikeout games. The Detroit Tigers are undefeated in games where they play a guy in all 9 positions in one game. Despite not missing a game for almost 17 years, Cal Ripken Jr. never played in 162 games more than 3 seasons in a row. The 2017 season was the first MLB season since 1886 that didn't feature either Connie Mack or Vin Scully. The New York Yankees have more World Series championships than seasons below 500. Cincinnati Reds center fielder Cesar Geronimo was a 3,000 strikeout victim of both Nolan Ryan and Bob Gibson. Joe DiMaggio only had 8 more strikeouts than he did home runs in his career. In the last 105 years, the Chicago White Sox have won just 3 playoff series, all of which came in 2005. Andres Galarraga had more stolen bases in his career than Roberto Clemente.
Armchair.
In the locker room before the 154th game of the season, with the Yankees only 1 win away from the pennant, and Maris 2 home runs short of Babe Ruth's record, he broke down. His manager, Ralph Houck, consoled him in his office. "If I can help win the game with a bunt," he asked, "would you mind if I bunted? It wouldn't make me look bad, would it?" Houck replied, "No, it would make you a bigger man than ever."
Welcome back. Matt Olson leads us off. First pitch to Matt is up high, 93-mile-an-hour fastball misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Fott comes set. Swing, fouls it off. 1-1. Not only did we go 3 up, 3 down, Fat Daddy only pitched 10 pitches in that first inning, so we got to get that pitch count up. The 1-1. Pitch on the way, down and in. 2-1. Went with the sinker there. The 2-1 count. Swing and a miss, 2-2. The 2-2. Righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way from Fott. Swung on, sliced down the left field line. Do it again. Man. Bad coughing episode. I do apologize. I tried to mute. I don't know if I got to it in time. That was choking worse than the Dodgers do. The 2-2 pitch. Kicks and fires. Swing. Fouls it back. So a 2-2 count. Braves nothing. Diamondbacks nothing. We're at 9:40 again tomorrow night. Even though this is the last game of the series, the San Diego first game, same time. The 2-2. Just inside. Ball 3-2. If nothing else, Matt's making him pitch. Got a full count. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Fott delivers. Swing. Fouls it back. Four-seam fastball. The 3-2. Braves nothing. Diamondbacks nothing. The payoff pitch. Swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at the second baseman. Newman makes the play. 4-3 put out over to first. Walker covering. 1 away. One down, and the Big Zoo comes to the plate. Marcell Ozuna digs in the first pitch, down and in, 96-mile-an-hour sinker. It's 1-0. Marcell Ozuna batting .296 on the year now. I was hoping we'd get him back up to 300 by the All-Star break. The 1-0. Swing and a miss over the top, 1-1. You have to have a pretty great weekend to get there. So 1-1 count. I don't know what you're doing. Righty. The pitch on the way. Down below the knees. Called for a strike. Ozuna can't believe it. Can't say I blame him. Manny Gonzalez. Last time we had him, he was blowing calls left and right. It looks like he has started the night off with that as well. Man, oh man. Probably 2 to 3 inches below the knees. So a 1-2 count. One down. Top of the second inning. The pitch. Swing. That ball's lifted high into right field. Deep, but not deep enough. Going back on the track. Making the catch is Corbin Carroll just before the wall, 2 away. Ozuna gave it a ride. Probably isn't swinging at that pitch if he didn't have that last strike called on him, but had to protect the plate. 2 down, and Adam Duvall comes to the plate, batting 188. Duvall, you'd hope he would at least work the count a little bit here. Fott's at 23 pitches. You'd like to see a handful here. The first pitch, 96 on the inside. It's 0-1. It's funny. It's felt like Duvall has gotten hot recently. He's batting just .214 over the last 7 games, so not really. He does have 2 home runs. The 0-1. Swing and a miss up top. 0-2. He's batting .245 over the last 2 weeks. 183 the last month, which is essentially where his batting average is right now at 188. The 0-2 count, down and away, 1-2. Good take. They continue to call that a sweeper, but it really does work more like a slider. Kind of a flat slider. The 1-2 from Fott, his 27th of the night. The pitch, swing, fouls it off. Do it again. Duvall's at least doing a good job of running that pitch count up a little bit. The 1-2. Fott comes set, releases the pitch, swing. That ball's lifted high into center field, but not very deep. Coming in, making the running catch is McCarthy, and that'll end the inning. Another 3 up, 3 down, but at least we ran some pitches up. We'll be back in a flash. McCarthy leads us off.
Where are you from?
I'm from Houston.
Oh, okay.
You ever been to Texas?
I haven't been there, but I heard I should go. I heard everything's bigger in Texas.
I'd love to disappoint you.
Record me.
I'm not, dude.
No, don't.
I'm not.
I'm
recording me.
I saw you. Don't
I'm
point
doing
that camera at me.
Okay? I truly wasn't, dude.
You don't want to know
what's
going to happen
wasn't.
to you.
I promise.
Okay, don't.
I promise.
Don't, look, you don't know what's going to happen to you.
Don't.
I did not
Don't
give
do
you
that.
permission to. I did
Don't
not
do
give
that.
you permission.
I'll
whoop your ass, son. I'll whoop your.
Why would I record you with your New Balances
I'll put my
on?
New Balance in your ass. I will.
Those ain't even new.
I swear
They ain't
to God,
got no
will.
balance. Those are old stumbles. What are you?
Boy.
Don't come over here.
Little boy,
I wasn't recording you.
What are you gonna do?
I would rather be
What are you
chill.
gonna do? Get out the car then.
I would rather be chill.
Get out the car.
Don't
Get
do
out
it.
the car.
Don't do it.
Damn, you big as
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah, I am.
Why you
I'm
so-
very big.
God, you big as hell.
I'm very
boy.
big.
I was playing.
Don't want these Gokus, dude.
Maris pulled himself together and slammed number 59 in the 3rd inning. The Yankees clinched the pennant. On September 26th, Maris hit his 60th, tying Babe Ruth. Then, for 3 games, nothing.
Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Holy cow, he did it. 61 for Maris. Another standing ovation for Roger Maris.
His teammates would not let him back into the dugout until he acknowledged the applause. Roger Maris played for 7 more seasons, never hit as well again, suffered his own debilitating injuries, and and was never forgiven for out-hitting the game's greatest hero.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way is a strike to McCarthy. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup, the 0-1 pitch. Cutter down and away, 1-1. Braves nothing, Snakes nothing. Bottom of the second inning. The 1-1. Swung on and sliced foul down the left field line, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's rifled up the middle, and that is in for a base hit. Jake McCarthy took that pitch and slammed it in between short and second. Braves were playing him pretty straight away. Normally, they have a shift on, and that might have had an ability for Arcia to fade over there and get the ball, but he was playing pretty honest on that play. So, 1 on, nobody out. Leadoff runner aboard once again here for the Snakes in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Suarez, who went yard last night, standing at the plate. Suarez batting .208. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Gunned it right by him. It's an 0-2 count. I don't know why they have this on the screen, but they're not showing the runner. There is a runner, the 0-2. Up high, 1-2. We kind of go through this. I'm not talking about the screen of our broadcast. I'm talking about if you're pairing this up with the Bally's broadcast. There is a runner on, even though it's not on their screen. The 1-2 pitch. Slider down and in, 2-2. We've talked about this several times before, but for whatever reason, when they go on the road, their technical department kind of phones it in. I don't know if they just outsource it or if they've just got the rookies back at the truck working on it. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the fastball, 97. P at the knees. 1 away. Good pitch. I am almost 100% sure that they're, unless they started doing it mid-season here, their tech staff does stay home. Didn't used to be the case, but Bally started cutting costs a couple of years ago. First pitch on the way, slider up top, misses high, it's 1-0. When they found out that they could cut costs during the pandemic, they continued to do that. And now that they've had the financial issues that they have, I'm pretty sure that they're just getting whatever intern is out in Arizona to take care of it. The 1-0, up top, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Arizona nothing. Lefty-lefty matchup. Corbin Carroll digs in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider on the edge. 1-2. The 1-2. Corbin Carroll batting .211 on the year. Bit of a sophomore slump so far. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Curveball, took a dive. Good job by Carroll to lay off at 2-2. Braves, Diamondbacks. Only game going on right now except for Seattle and the Angels, and Seattle leads that one 4-0 in the second. The 2-2 pitch. 96 right there at the knees. What was wrong with that there, big boy? Manny Gonzalez calls it a ball. The strike that he called to Ozuna was easily 2 inches below that. So a payoff pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul off his instep. We'll do it again. Good Lord. I mean, that was a terrible call. Especially when you set up the fact that you're going to call that low pitch and then you don't give him that 96. It painted the bottom of the zone. The payoff pitch, lefty-lefty matchup, runner at first, 1 out, double play would get us out of the jam. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 away. So even though he didn't get the caught looking backwards K, he got the swinging K. His second strikeout of the night. Country Club members, if you haven't used them before, we got the emojis in the chat. We do have the Mad Maxes, and you'll notice that we do have the frontwards and backwards K indicating the swing or the caught looking. First pitch on the way to Newman is up high for a ball. It's 1-0. Been waiting to play this one all day once I saw the lineup. If I can find it. That's the question.
Hello, Newman.
The 1-0. Pitch on the way, swung on, hit hard on the ground, just foul. 1-1. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Runner at first. Newman batting .286 on the year. Free deliver, swung on, chopped foul off his instep, 1-2. Kevin Newman plays a little all over the infield. He's at second base tonight, 30-year-old from, probably mispronouncing this, but Poway, California. Drafted by the Pirates in the first round, 19th pick overall out of the Arizona Wildcats. The 1-2, down and in. Did he go around? Looked like he did. He did, strike 3. So even though he got the bum call, Mad Max takes care of Newman.
Good night, Newman.
Or, hear me out. You go yourself, and I keep doing what I'm doing.
Phil Niekro went 21-20 in 1979 and led the league in both wins and losses. Nolan Ryan had 3 more no-hitters in his career than he had games with no walks. Madison Bumgarner hit more grand slams in 2014 than Derek Jeter did in his entire major league career. Despite being one of the greatest hitters of all time, Ted Williams never had 200 hits in a season, and he never reached 3,000 hits. The last switch hitting American League MVP was Vida Blue. Prince Fielder has more career inside the park home runs than Ricky Henderson. The Oakland A's drafted 2 guys named Max Muncy, one in 2012 and the other in 2021. If that's not strange enough, they were both born on August 25th. Joe Carter ended 2 World Series in a row, one by a putout and the other by a walk-off. Adam Dunn has a higher career on-base percentage than Ichiro.
So it says here that you hit your husband with a chair? Why'd you hit him with a chair? Because I couldn't lift the table.
To take away Ruth's record, his single-season record, was to take away something that was held so close to the hearts of the baseball establishment that they couldn't see doing it. Nonetheless, Roger Maris did it. He did hit 61 home runs, and the fact that it took 162 games, well, he also did it having to play at night, having to bat against the screwball, having to travel to the West Coast for games, and to do it all with a parade, a mob of reporters following him around. I think it's unfair.
It would have been a hell of a lot more fun if I had never hit those 61 home runs, he told a friend toward the end of his life. All it brought me was headaches. Another of Babe Ruth's records was broken that year. Yankee Whitey Ford pitched his 32nd consecutive scoreless World Series inning, surpassing a mark set by Ruth in 1916 when he was a pitcher with the Boston Red Sox. It was, Whitey Ford said, A tough year for the Babe.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. A couple of other folks that are drifting into the chat. Good evening to Carlos and Kal-El. We haven't seen you in a while. Long time, no time. First pitch on the way. It's a strike in the 0-1 pitch. It's fouled off out of play. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count to Rosario. Brandon Pfaadt at 29 pitches. So they did do a great job last inning of running that pitch count up. The 0-2. Kicks and fires. Swung on, chopped over towards second. Play by Newman will 4-3 put out. Will retire Rosario, one away. One down, and Sean Murphy comes to the plate. Murphy getting the night off last night. He was the hero the other night, hitting the 2-run home run in the 9th inning if you missed that game. First pitch on the way to Murph. Right there at the knees, 95 miles an hour. It's 0-1. Standing on deck is Arcia. We get anything going, we go back to the top of the order. The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. The 1-1 from Pfaadt. Lifts his red glove and kicks and fires. That ball's going to be fouled off behind the plate. Dribbles towards third. 1-2. It is funny. I was watching MLB Network today. They had it on. I don't know if y'all have ever noticed that before, but if you do the MLB package, like I'm sure a lot of y'all do, from time to time during the day, they have a lot of day games. They'll put like the MLB Network on as like a pregame show type thing. Is the 1-2 outside wide, good take by Murphy, 2-2. And the biggest thing that I took away from the entire hour that it was on, they didn't talk about the Atlanta Braves, not one time. It's like, man, they act like we're just invisible. The 2-2 swung on, grounded over towards short, deep in the hole. Perdomo's got plenty of time. He'll fire it over to first, get Murphy by about a step. Murphy was hustling down the line, but he does not have great speed. Perdomo knew it, took his time, and that right there just shows veteran right there for Perdomo, because there's a lot of young shortstops that would rush that throw, maybe make a bad throw over there, but instead he just kind of regathered himself, realized who was running, and gunned him down. First pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia is a sweeper slider in. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Pitch on the way. Swing. Chops it foul down the third base line. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. But they were talking about different trade scenarios and whatnot. It's always good to get other opinions and listen. And they did not mention the Braves one time. The 0-2 swung on, lifted down the line, foul. Do it again. I honestly believe that there is a belief by the national media that the Braves fan base isn't as big as others. I'm here to tell you right now, like that's not true. It's nationwide. It always has been. The 0-2 lets her rip. Down and away. Good take by Orlando. 1-2. They always focus on the coast. It's always Boston, New York, L.A., Every once in a while, they'll dabble around Chicago, but other than that, that's about it. The 1-2 pitch. Swing! Chopped off. Foul. That ball banged off the plate and ricocheted off of Arcia's bat to shoot the other way. 1-2 count. Righty. Fott brings it. Down and away, 2-2. But it's funny, like, I just think they don't realize how big of a following Atlanta got in those years with the TBS. Not to mention, they've been perennial winners. The 2-2 to Arcia. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll end the inning. That came to mind mainly because I want to know what we're going to do about shortstop because this ain't working. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
This is the best tip for saving money as an adult. Lay the down and try not to move.
Hey, can somebody explain to me how I can still remember my childhood phone number but can't remember my Gmail password to save my life?
Say the weird thing.
All the vowels in Celine Dion's name are the same vowels you sing in Old MacDonald in the correct order. I know this, and now you know this too.
So parenting is a whole lot like pancakes. For the most part, they're going to turn out fine, but you should probably apologize to the first one.
Hey, y'all kids got it made today. Y'all slides is made out of plastic. Ours is made out of aluminum foil and platinum. Real talk, the younger generation, y'all take a walk in our shoes. Imagine sliding down this slide with shorts on in the middle of the day. Ew, he left his ass up there. You ever got to the bottom of this slide and shock somebody and they cry and go tell the teacher? Now you got to sit down in ISS for no reason. Talk about you go too fast with the wrong kind of clothes. The back of your leg look like baked chicken. That had to been the most dangerous thing on the playground. We used to try to show off in front of the girls to run up this slide. Tell one of my classmates try to run up with some slippery shoes and he left his face on there. This ain't nothing but a big spoon.
Commissioner Ford Frick was alarmed by all the big hitting that year. The Yankees had slugged an all-time record 240 home runs, and now he overreacted. He convinced the club owners to widen the strike zone to ensure that home runs did not come too cheaply. The result would be a golden age for pitchers.
Oh, a genius. Perhaps the only pitcher I have ever seen, and certainly broadcast, where after one batter, I would think he might pitch a no-hitter tonight. The only one. He was the only one who would go out to warm up, and he would get applause similar to a symphony conductor who had just walked on stage. It was such respect as well as admiration. I don't think we'll see his likes for a long time.
His name was Sandy Koufax.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. Max Fried, P at the knees, 95 miles an hour. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires to the number 9 hitter, Perdomo, from the right side of the plate. That hit the zone, top of the zone. And he called that high. 1-1. So he's not giving him the high one, which is literally in the zone. The ball was all the way in the zone. He's not giving him the low one. The 1-1 pitch. 95 inside, 2-1. Only thing left to do is to have Sean Murphy lay down at the last second and throw one right up against his freaking grill. The 2-1 from Fried. Max brings it. 95 up top. That one did miss, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Up top. And called for a strike. Perdomo couldn't believe it because that ball was in the zone. So he was heading down to first. He actually chucked the bat because the ball did hit the zone. And it shocked everybody. Perdomo saw what was going on there. He's like, man, if you're just giving balls away, we'll take them. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped over to first. Olson's got it, flips it over to Fried, who's covering the bag. 1 away. One down. That'll bring the right-handed bat of Ketel Marte to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup. Marte got on his first time up, swings at the first pitch. That is a high shot, but it is going to die into the glove of Adam Duvall. Quickly 2 down. 2 away, and Moreno will come to the plate, the hind catcher. Took the night off last night, and he's back in the lineup. Pretty good hitting catcher, all in all. He had a decent postseason last year. First pitch on the way, 92 miles an hour right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Moreno batting .250 with a .709 OPS, 4 home runs on the year, 31 RBI. The 0-1 pitch, 95, just misses outside wide. 1-1. You never know if he's going to stick with it because that's who Manny Gonzalez is. But as of right now, he's calling a really tight zone. The 1-1 curveball misses well high. 2-1 count. Max Fried at 45 pitches. If he can get out of this pretty quickly, we'll be doing all right. The 2-1. 84 up top. Changeup evens up the count 2-2. The 2-2. Moreno takes his time out and a couple of practice swings. Fried comes set. The 2-2 on the way. Swung on, chopped over to short. RC has got it, throws a laser over to first. That's one thing he does well, is that old defensive glove. We'll be back in a flash. Kelnick at the top of the order due up.
Hey, does anybody else get road rage walking behind people? Or is it just me?
This is the career of Dave Winfield. He didn't reach his full height of 6 feet 6 inches until his senior year of high school. Most people know him as an outfielder, but in 1973 he was named All-American and voted MVP of the College World Series as a pitcher. Not only was he drafted 4th overall by the Padres, he was also drafted by the Atlanta Hawks, the Utah Stars, and the Minnesota Vikings. After being drafted, he was immediately placed in the San Diego Padres starting lineup. He never played a game in the minor leagues. In 1977, he appeared in his first All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. From 1982 to 1988, he drove in 744 runs and made the All-Star team every season. After signing with the Blue Jays, he became the 3rd oldest player to hit an extra base hit in the World Series at the age of 41. Next, he spent time with the Minnesota Twins where he collected his 3,000th hit. He had a cannon for an arm and no one dared run on him. This is evident by his 7 Gold Glove awards, 2 as a left fielder and 5 as a right fielder. In 2001, he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He holds the distinction of being the first player to go in as a Padre. And don't forget, he wasn't afraid to charge the mound against Nolan Ryan.
I swear, if I could go back in time and tell the woman that stood up for our right to work, I would.
Born and raised in a Jewish neighborhood in Brooklyn, he hadn't planned on being a ball player. In fact, he didn't really like the game that much. He liked basketball instead and wanted to be an architect. But the speed with which he threw a baseball attracted the attention of scouts for the Brooklyn Dodgers. They signed him at the age of 19 and sent him directly to the majors. His career did not get off to a promising start. For 6 frustrating years, he threw the ball with demon speed but little control, losing more games than he won. Then, in 1961, Norm Sherry, a veteran catcher, quietly told him he didn't need to throw so hard to get men out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. John's asking about Bo Bichette. He's actually hadn't been injured much. Looking at his numbers here, he's gone to the post the last 3 years, including this year, almost every day. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is a changeup below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. 2021, he had 690 plate appearances, 697 and 22, and 601 last year. He was an all-star in 21 and 23, the 1-0. Hit high in the sky. Coming over, making the catches, McCarthy in left center field, one away. F8 in your scorecard if you're scoring at home. I think the big thing with him that would be the deterrent for Atlanta is that he's not a rental. He still has 2 more years on his contract, so he'll be a free agent in 26. The first pitch on the way to Ozzie is swung on and belted down the right field line, but just foul. Rattled up around the corner there. That thing's just about a foot or so over to the left. It's extra bases. But it's a fairly reasonable payroll, by the way. He's making 12 this year, 17 next year, so not terrible. Is he 0-1? Outside watch. So he's got a year and a half left, so that's why he's being talked about in trades, because you can normally get more from a guy when you're gonna have him for a year and a half. The biggest question would be, would the Braves take on that payroll? The 0-2 in the dirt? 1-2. So if you remember, if you followed us in the preseason, during the offseason, whatnot, we broke down the way their payroll breaks down, and for them to take on too much more payroll is going to affect their draft pick status. The 1-2, down and in 2-2. You could see a deal where they wait till after this draft that's coming right up here, and then maybe that's the play they make. That's why I expect more moves to be made after the trade deadline. I mean, the draft. The 2-2, swing and a miss over the top, 2-2. But as far as his numbers, he's gone to the post pretty regularly in his career, and he's got a career .290 batting average and an OPS of .798, so right at 800. It's pretty remarkable for a shortstop. This year, he hasn't hit great, and that's why he's probably being considered on the trade block as the first pitch on the way. Down and away, sinker misses, it's 1-0. It's 302 at bats this year. He's only got 4 home runs, a .222 average, and an OPS of .596. So he's not hitting the ball well at all. The 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. I think one of the reasons why it keeps being reported that Atlanta would go after him is because of the relationship that Anthopoulos continues to have with the Toronto front office. Remember, he worked there for years. The 2-0 swing. That ball's ripped into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And it's about darn time. Man, oh man alive, we got a runner on. Scorched into left field by Austin Riley. I just have my doubts that they go after him. Once again, I've said it a few times. I think Paul DeYoung is a lot more likely candidate. First pitch on the way to Olsen, swung on. That ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at Walker. He'll step on the bag, and that'll end the inning. That ball was smoked, but into the teeth of the defense. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the third we go. 0-0, your score.
Hey, I be wondering, like, why nobody eat banana Laffy Taffys, dog? They not bad. They really good, bro. Really got me questioning, like, how some of y'all eat banana pudding, but y'all not gonna eat a banana Laffy Taffy. Like, what's up with y'all, bro? I even know a dude that eat a banana like a dude ain't even supposed to eat a banana, and he turned down a banana Laffy Taffy. Nah, I don't even like banana like that, bro. I can't tell, you just deep-throated one. You walk in the gas station, you know they like 35 cents for singles. These be the only ones left. Then the cashier will talk about, yeah, take them. No, you're not about to treat me like you don't want them, bro. I'm about to pay for these. The moral of the story, I'm just asking y'all, like, why y'all don't like banana Laffy Taffys?
67, the Detroit Tigers with Danny McClain and Earl Wilson and Mickey Lolich. There's a chance that you might leave that city from a hitter's standpoint, maybe 1 for 20 or 1 for 25.
And the Tigers could hit, too. Featuring power hitter Willie Horton and future Hall of Famer Al Kaline, Detroit scored the second most runs in the American League.
You were always in trouble as a ball club when you went into Detroit.
But for sheer star power, no team could match the Minnesota Twins. On the mound, they boasted former Cy Young Award winner Dean Chance, as well as one of the best left-handers in the game, former 25-game winner Jim Cott. And when it came to hitting, their trio of Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew, and Tony Oliva was deadly.
If you never got to see Rod Carew and Tony Oliva hit, you missed something, because Rod Carew won 7 American League batting championships, and Tony Oliva was a Rod Carew type hitter with power.
You couldn't keep those first 2 guys off base, and then you had to face Killebrew, and if you made a mistake, you could be a couple runs behind real quick.
And there it goes. It's way, way back. It's a home run, a 400-footer that sails.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. Arizona Diamondbacks. First pitch from Max Fried misses high for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Sinker outside wide to Grichuk. 2-0. Two-0 count for Max. Kicks and fires. Swung on, banged on the ground, but right at Arcia. He's got it. Fires it across. Easy 6-3 put out, one away. Braves nothing, Diamondbacks nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Coming to the plate, the right-handed bat of Christian Walker, the cleanup hitter. First pitch on the way, bending curveball, balloon shot that grabs the top of the zone for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, pops it up. Just got underneath that. Gave it a ride. Honestly, I did not think that ball was going to go that far. Fairly deep into center field, well before the warning track, but usually when you see that, it's normally very shallow outfield. That was a pretty good ride. Note to self, keep that ball away from Christian Walker's bat. So 2 down. The McCarthy era comes to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. Brandon McCarthy, he's 1 for 1. He'll take the first pitch, curveball at the knees. 0-1. Doesn't seem like Max's curveball is working like it normally is. He's been working more with that sinker tonight. The 0-1, speak of the devil, right there at the knees. Sinker grabs his own, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Braves nothing, Arizona nothing. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Got a piece of Manny Gonzalez. Takes off his mask and kind of shaking the cobwebs out. Walking under talking to Fried. Max is saying something to him and Sean Murphy. Oh, man, it got him in the neck is where it got him. Oof. Caught him in the neck. Like, he literally caught the ball in the neck with the mask. You do not see that often. Arizona training staff is out there checking on him. Sean Murphy showing concern as well. Man, the way they designed those masks, that is almost impossible, but he got it right in the neck. He's wearing, for those of y'all on radio, he's wearing one of those hockey-style masks. The 1-2 swung on, banged on the ground over to Ozzie. He's got it, flips it over to Olsen, and it's an easy 1-2-3. We'll take that all day long. Let's grab the bats. Let's get some runs, Braves country. It's 0-0 heading to the 5th.
It's some bull when I hear people say that white people can't cook. Really? Newsflash, we're literally the whole reason why you have to show your ID to buy Sudafed. So, okay, love you, bye.
Hey, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I'll be ordering my coffee so strong I think it might just show up on a drug test.
Dad, who cut the grass?
Same person who always cuts the grass. Me. Why?
It's like the lines are crooked, like they're all squiggly. Didn't you say your vision or something was going bad? Because it's showing. The lines, look how crooked they are.
What are you talking about? They're crooked.
Look, you see how it's not, aren't they supposed to be straight lines?
What are you talking about? They are straight. What are you talking about?
Nah, they look crooked. You should have Brett show you how to do it.
I'll tell you what, instead of you sleeping until 3 o'clock in the afternoon every day, why don't you start cutting the grass?
I should.
Tell me Brett knows how to cut the grass. Every time he comes over here, he doesn't know how to cook a egg on the stove. You're going to try to tell me he's going to tell me how to cut the grass.
And as long as you're getting yourself a cup of coffee, would you mind getting me one too?
I'm not getting myself coffee.
Let me rephrase that. Get me a cup of coffee. And by the way, I take my coffee the way I take my women.
Are you sure you want to pay $75 for a cup of coffee?
In Orlando Cepeda's last few years with the Giants, some thought that his skills had eroded. The Cardinals couldn't have cared less, as Cepeda immediately began knocking the ball all over the park and driving his new teammates across the plate.
We got Orlando Cepeda, which meant that your single now meant something.
With Cepeda leading a recharged offense and the ferocious Gibson anchoring the pitching staff, the 67 Cardinals began to tear through the National League. They were as confident as they were talented, and it didn't seem like anyone could stand in their way.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is swung on and swatted back, fouling out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing! 95 inside. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Marcell Ozuna 0 for 1 on the day. Fought at 55 pitches, so he's good on that front. The 0-2 pitch. Down and away, trying to get him to chase that bender. 1-2. Braves nothing, Snakes nothing. Top of the 5th inning. The 1-2. Swing. That ball straight back 96 miles an hour. Man, I'll tell you what. Marcell Ozuna almost got a hold of that one. When you see that ball get smacked and go straight to the backstop, he just missed it. Hit one out last night. 24 on the year. The 1-2 pitch. Down and away. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Yeah, I think phones is where folks have the most problem with YouTube. I have it all the time when I listen to other stuff on YouTube. The 2-2, down and away, ball 3-2. The earbud thing does normally work, Charlie. You're right. I listen to different podcasts and stuff when I'm at work, cooking and whatnot, and doing prep. The 3-2 pitch, swing, and that ball's hit hard on the ground through, and it's going to get down where the green grass grows. Marcell Ozuna is on with the leadoff single. Your Atlanta Braves. Good job of Randall Grichuk cutting that off. That was heading to the gap. Marcell Ozuna tried to go shopping at the gap, but Grichuk cut it off. They've got good speed in the outfield tonight across the board. That'll bring Adam Duvall to the plate. Duvey, 0 for 1, first pitch. High and inside. 1-0. Duvey, when you're batting well below the Mendoza line and an 80-mile-an-hour pitch comes at you, you got to lean that chicken wing in there and get hit, man. I'm telling you. The 1-0. Righty. Swung on, hammered down the left field line, but plenty foul. 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Snakes nothing. Top of the 5th inning. Tomorrow we head to San Diego for a 3-game set for the Padres, and then it is the All-Star break. Time to put our toes in the water, grab a cold one, sit in the sand somewhere for a few days. The 1-1 pitch to Duvall. Inside, 2-1. It's pretty good. I don't know if y'all saw the lineup, but it's pretty good lineup for that home run derby. We've tried doing the home run derby before. There's not a lot of interest in it. But I think I'm going to try to check it out. Especially with Marcell Ozuna going. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, chopped foul, hard down the third base line, 2-2. Just can't keep those straight. I think I've got it bookmarked somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I thought I did, but the home run derby, I'll pull it up in a second, is on Monday night. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the sweeper off the edge. 1 away. 1 down, 1 on. That'll bring Eddie Rosario to the plate. Eddie Rosario stands in. First pitch, swung on, chopped over to first. High jump by Christian Walker. He's got it. Fires it over to second. Eddie Rosario will beat out the throw. 2 down. The home run derby participants this year, you got Pete Alonso, and he's won it a few times, so you knew he wanted to go, especially with him about to hit free agency. Alec Boehm of the Phillies, that one surprised me a little bit. Adolis Garcia, Gunnar Henderson, Teoscar Hernandez, Marcell Ozuna, Jose Ramirez, and Bobby Witt Jr. First pitch on the way, high and inside. 93 miles an hour up around Sean Murphy's eye socket. It's 1-0. Murphy had to spin around to wonder what that's all about, because the catcher had his mitt on the ground like he was kind of expecting him to do that. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, 1-1. When you watch the replay, the slow-mo replay of it on the Arizona feed, the catcher just kind of nonchalantly puts his glove up there at the last second, almost like he was expecting that ball to hit Murphy. 1-1 to Sean. Swing, chops it foul. 1-2. Can't imagine Sean Murphy would do something to someone. I mean, he seems like the most vanilla, non-threatening person. Can't imagine he did something to tick somebody off. So 1-2 count. 0-0 your score. Braves started the inning off with the single by Marcell Ozuna, but now we got Eddie at first and 2 outs. Down to our last strike. The 1-2. Up high. 2-2. Two to Murphy. Fought, by the way, is at 70 pitches. Still not terribly high. He turns around and flips it over to first to keep Eddie close by. Standing on deck is Arcia. You wonder if they'll even give something to Smurf, considering he hit that home run the other night, and Arcia is ice cold. The 2-2 lets her rip. Swing! That ball's belted down the left field line, but foul and out of play. That's one of those pitches there that Murph would love to have back, because right in his wheelhouse. He just couldn't keep it straight. That's that supposed sweeper, but it's really more of a flat slider, and it hung about belt high. He's been doing well with that pitch all night, but keeping him off the edges. The 2-2, they set up inside again. Swung on, banged on the ground over to short. It's going to be a 6-4 putout to end the inning. Braves put one on, but can't get anything over. We'll be back in a flash. Suarez, Carroll, and Newman coming to the plate.
When people say they don't like me, I put on glasses to see if I give a and I know.
So Dale Murphy bats. He ripped a double to right center his first time. 2-1 Atlanta in the third inning. Deep right field for Murphy. Strawberry has gone as far as he can go, and it's out of here. Dale Murphy.
Murphy at first. Murphy drives it. Deep left field. You can kiss this one goodbye. How far will it go? Murphy is at 2 today. 11-1 now, and there won't be 37,000 fans here when this inning is over.
Why do you call petrol gas when it is literally a liquid?
So you don't like us calling petrol gas, huh? Remind me again, what do you guys call cigarettes?
Wait, in the Brits' defense, yeah? I've got nothing. In America, you would say, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. If, what we would say in the UK, I'm going to smoke, if you said that in America, woo! Chill out, America.
There were a lot of people in baseball who believed that Sandy Koufax would never be a major league pitcher. He had no control his first few years in the major leagues. He was getting nowhere at all. He was walking more people than he was striking out. And then suddenly, he found it. And when he found it, there was a period that ran from 1961 through 1966 in which he was good as any pitcher in baseball history.
It's an unfair contest after they've been up bad against him. And I remember more than once a batter being up there and looking at that terrific fastball, which always seemed to come up as it crossed the plate, and then shooting a lookout to say, what was that? It was as if he'd thrown an Easter egg past him or something like that. It was something different. The game had been altered. And then he had that devastating curve. So the combination of those two, the batters felt absolutely helpless. And he was beautiful to watch because he bent his back in a way that other pitchers didn't. They had this enormous long hands and long arms. And there was a bow and arrow feeling about the way that he used his body.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Max Fried as he's facing Suarez. Pitch is right there on the outer cut for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 from Max. Kicks and fires. Way outside, high, wide. 0-2. 1-1 count to Suarez. 0 for 1 on the night. Comes set, lets her rip. Swung on, chopped foul off the plate. Braves nothing, Snakes nothing. The 1-2. Misses outside wide. Changeup misses 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Fried comes set, kicks and fires. Up top 94. Misses. Did check it down the line. He did not, said first base umpire Todd Titchener. You got a payoff pitch from Max Fried. Swing. That ball's lifted high and deep. Max is bending down. That must be, and it's gone. It is. That ball was hammered. Smacked out of the freaking park, and they do it again. They give Suarez a hanger, and it's 1-0 Arizona. You got to be kidding me with that one. Suarez. Unbelievable. He doesn't hit. He's got a 651 OPS going in after that, a 210 batting average, but they're making him look like Babe Ruth. They're giving him hangers. The one last night was a hanging curveball from Charlie Morton on that same part of the plate. So 1-0 your score, bottom of the fifth. Corbin Carroll takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 from Max. Swing, rattles it foul off the face mask of Murphy, 1-1. The 1-1. Max comes set. Lefty-lefty matchup. Newman and Perdomo due up. The pitch. Swung on, chopped off the plate. 1-2. Carroll 0 for 1 on the day. He's batting .210, .613 OPS. To give you an idea of how far he has fallen since last year, is the 1-2. Curveball nowhere near the zone. He keeps throwing that thing. He does not have command of it tonight. He needs to just kind of give it a rest. Keep it as a show pitch, but he needs to get a couple of those other. That sinker's been working. That slider's been working. The 2-2 from Max. 95 up top, doesn't get the call, though it did look like, in fact, it did touch the top of the zone. Full count. Getting pinched by Manny Gonzalez. The 3-2 pitch from Max. Nowhere near the zone, ball 4. So another walk directly because he's not getting that call from Manny Gonzalez from the pitch before. That's what happened the last time he walked a guy. Still quiet as a church mouse from Snicker over on the bench. Last year, to give you an idea of how far the first pitch on the way is in the dirt, Corbin Carroll will go. One thing that doesn't slump is speed. He had 54 steals last year, 16 this year. Last year, he had an .868 OPS. The 1-0, swing and a miss. The curveball, 1-1. This year, a .613 OPS. Last year, his batting average .285. This year, .210. Last year, 25 home runs. This year, 3. The 1-1. Swung on, chopped over to third. Riley's got it, fires it over to Ozzie. He'll get the tag. Had a hard time getting the ball out of his glove, so he won't get the double play, and Newman is aboard once again. He's got pretty good speed and just beat it out. They couldn't get Newman busting it down the line. Ozzie trying to juggle that ball, but he did get the lead out. Newman! So 1 on, 1 out. Perdomo comes to the plate. Switch hitting shortstop. First pitch on the way. Slice 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Now, Angel Hernandez is still retired, and the thing is, fans got so fixated on hating on Angel Hernandez, they've never really paid attention to some of the other bums that are behind the plate. The 0-1. High and out of the zone, 1-1. Don't expect these guys to be perfect, but Manny Gonzalez, he's one of my least favorite ones. C.B. Buckner is probably the worst active one right now. The thing that I think people hated about Angel Hernandez so much is that the smug arrogance of almost like he was purposely getting the call wrong and standing behind it. The 1-1 up top, 1-2. Kind of like that whole, what are you going to do about it? You can't do anything. I'm the law. One-two count. Max Fried, 75th of the night, swung on, chopped over to short. Arcia gets the lead runner. 6-4, Cannot get that double play turn. Slow developing double play. But they do get the lead runner 2 away. Pretty good speed at the bottom of the lineup here for Arizona. So that was going to be a tough task to turn too. Once the ball got past Riley, you knew there was no chance because Arcia had a long way to go to get there. So back to the top of the order. Ketel Marte takes the first pitch inside. 94 miles an hour for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Marte, 30-year-old out of the Dominican Republic, nicknamed El Nino. The 0-1 from Max. Curveball swung on. That ball's roasted off of the glove of Arcia. And it's going to be an infield single. Short hopped him. That ball was smoked. And once again, they keep going back to that curveball, and it keeps getting drilled. They are not learning their lessons. It was right at Arcia, but a short hopper, and that ball was scalded. Arizona feed is showing 102 miles an hour off the bat. Max and Sean Murphy are now standing on the mound going over, maybe not throwing that curveball because that thing sucks tonight. It's about that time to turn back time. Start dropping these in as the evening goes on. On this date, 1914, Red Sox hurler Babe Ruth makes his major league debut, beating the Cleveland Indians 4-3. Duffy Lewis, pinch hitting for the 19-year-old rookie southpaw, singles in the 7th, giving the future slugger the first of his 94 victories in 140 decisions. First pitch on the way from Max, 88 up top. Change up, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty righty. The pitch. Downstairs, 1-1. 1-1 count. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, the pitch. Up high, misses, well out of the zone. Ball 2, 2-1. Arizona led off with another solo home run by Suarez, another hanging breaking ball by Max Fried, the 2-1 pitch, curveball in the dirt. 3-1. Going back to that curveball again, that thing is going to get smoked again. So a 3-1 count. Two on, 2 out. The 3-1 from Max. Fastball top of the zone. Full count. So the good news is that's strike 2. The bad news is the runners are going to be on the move. Anything to get down will definitely score 2 if he gets anywhere near the gap. Max might want to think about throwing it over to first. The payoff pitch. And he's going to call time. And he's going to say that Max did not get the ball out in time. And it's going to be bases loaded. Pitcher timer violation. Automatic ball, and the bases are now juiced. Didn't see the actual clock on that expire. First pitch on the way. Sinker up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Moot point now, but I would like to have seen where that timer was. The 0-1. Curveball down and in. It hit him. No, it did not. He's checking down the line to see if he went around. He did not. 1-1. Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez was making a motion like he had hit the batter. The ball did come very close to his back foot, but it did not hit him. So we'll go again here. The 1-1 count to Grichuk, number 3 hitter. The pitch, curveball, just smacks it inside, 1-2. Still hanging that thing up way too high. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Braves do have Dylan Lee warming up in the bullpen. The pitch. Ball goes inside. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chased a really bad pitch. We'll take it, and that'll end the inning. All in all, it could have been a heck of a lot worse. We'll head to the top of the 6th, trailing just 1-0.
At least I'm a fun hot mess. Like a train wreck full of pizza, fireworks, and glitter.
Y'all, back when I was a kid, I could jump out of a swing mid-air and land on my feet, no problem. Now when I sleep on the wrong pillow, I wake up feeling like I fell out of a 12th-story window.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
If your child is performing poorly during a recital, stop recording them in the middle of their performance so that they will see what a disappointment they are to you. To save face around the other parents, tell them you're just practicing for when your child gets on stage.
And as the first game began, the Braves took an early lead.
The Braves break the scoring ice.
And then Dodger manager Walter Alston acted quickly, making the boldest of moves. He brought in his ace reliever Larry Sherry in the 2nd inning.
Well, he's the boss. He's going to pick whoever he wants, and he knows Larry wants to come in. And Larry wants to pitch.
Sherry made Alston's gamble pay off as he completely shut the Braves down.
He knew he could do it, and he wanted to do it, and he did it.
And then Johnny Roseboro homered, and the Dodgers ended up with an improbable 3-2 victory.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Brandon Fott will go back out there for the 6th inning, 72 pitches in. First pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia, swung on, fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup, the top of the order due up next. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. High and inside, almost gets him. I'll give that same speech I gave a second ago. I'm sorry, Orlando, but when you're batting 180, can't hit water out of a boat. You got to let those ones that go high and inside get you on the arm. The 1-1. Right there for a strike, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Fott comes set. They set up high. Swing lifted high. Deep down the right field line. Will it stay in play? Going into the screen. Did he make the catch? No, the ball hit the screen just past the reach of Carroll. He went diving into that net. You couldn't really see where the ball went. Pretty good athletic attempt for a guy who does not go very high. And he went Spider-Man up there, just missed it. 1-2 to Arcia. Righty-righty. The pitch. Down and away, 2-2. We're here in the 6th inning, trailing 1-0. The 2-2. Swing, hit hard up the middle. That will get through for a base hit. And it's true, miracles really do happen. Orlando Arce with the leadoff single. Your Atlanta Braves got something cooking here in the top of the 6th inning. Jared Kelenic comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Righty-lefty, third time through the lineup. First pitch, 84 outside. Changeup misses. 1-0. The 1-0. Fott comes set. Lets her rip. Right there on the outer edge, 92 miles an hour, 1-1. Cubs swept the Orioles in Baltimore, and the Phillies swept the Dodgers in Philadelphia. Two of the games really made the headlines today. The 1-1 pitch swung on, chopped foul, changeup just off the edge, 1-2. Justin Steele, he's pitching well. He's doing the same thing he did at the end of last year, where he almost won the Cy Young. He is pitching very well the last few outings. The 1-2. Mets beat the Nationals 7-0 earlier. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. The Giants lost earlier, which is good for Braves country when it comes to the wild card standings. The 2-2 pitch. Swing. Chops that one foul off the plate. Just got a piece of that sinker. Do it again. Braves come into tonight, 4.5 in front of the Mets and the Padres, who are now in a flat-footed tie for the number 3 spot in the wild card. St. Louis is number 2, 3.5 behind the Braves. The 2-2 swung on, hit hard on the ground over to first. It's going to be another 1-6-3 double play. And Walker has been picking it there all series long. They've hit so many balls to the right side. They're right at Walker, and he does a great job of feeding it down there first. That time they were able to get Kelenic. I thought Kelenic was going to have a chance to beat that out. But a perfect throw by Walker and a perfect relay by Perdomo. Very close, but just got him by a quarter step maybe. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies is down and in for a ball, 1-0. Diamondbacks are a game and a half out of the wild card. Pittsburgh 2.5. And then you got 3 teams, the Giants, the Reds, the Cubs, all 3 back of the final wild card. The 1-0 pitch, dribbled over to second, and Ozzie Albies another easy out. That'll end the inning. So with the double play, it's essentially 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Here's to alcohol, because no good story has ever started with a salad. Cheers.
Dad?
Yep.
The fans and followers want to know why you caved with my sister.
What are you talking about?
You bet her $100 to quit vaping for 2 weeks. Then you found out she cheated with Zippix sticks, and you paid her anyways.
Did you know the bet before we did it?
Yes.
And did any time during the bet when we set up the rules, did I say she couldn't use a nicotine stick or nicotine gum?
Well, no.
Okay, then she won, fair and square. What's the big deal?
Well, technically she won, but everyone thinks you should have stuck to your guns and not paid her at all.
Oh, so I'm supposed to tell my daughter that she cheated even when she didn't, and then you guys want me to welch on the bet so her dad, she learns the lessons that her dad welches on bets too. That's the advice of your fans and followers?
People still think you caved either way.
Well, it is really important what other people think about the way I parent.
It is?
No, not even a little bit. Get the out of here.
Back in Los Angeles for the second game, the Braves showed their championship pedigree as they knocked out Don Drysdale and took a 5-2 lead into the ninth inning. And with the unflappable Lou Burdett on the mound, the game seemed over. But then, like an echo from the past, the old boys of summer roared to life. Snyder and Hodges delivered key hits, knocking Burdett out of the game, and Ferrillo tied it with a sacrifice fly.
Gil Hodges comes in with a tying run, and the Dodgers are anything but dead.
We just got some momentum at the end.
And then, with the score tied in the 12th, they reached back one more time.
The Cinderella team of the National League, for the first time in history, a 7th-place club has come back to win the pennant the following year.
We had no business beating them.
Welcome back. Max Fried back out there for a 6th inning. See how this goes. First pitch on the way. The cleanup hitter, Christian Walker. 4-seam fastball right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. All in all, you can't fault Max Fried. He's gone 5 innings, giving up just the 1 earned run, the 1 home run. Got out of a pretty tight jam last inning. The 0-1 off the plate, 1-1. Braves offense just is not responding. 1-1 count. Right there at the knees. Outer edge changeup. 1-2. Looks like Grant Holmes is warming up in the pen. 1.15 ERA and a .77 whip through 15 1/3 innings. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sinker up top. That is the pitch that has been giving hitters the most trouble tonight, and for some reason they keep going away from it. Feel like on that payoff pitch that he gave up that balloon curveball, if he would have stuck with that sinker down, the worst thing he's going to do is get one down through the infield. First pitch on the way, lefty-lefty matchup. McCarthy is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing, chops it foul down the first base line. 1-1. 1-1 count. Arizona 1, Braves nothing. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out, the 1-1 pitch. 94 out wide. Did he go around? They checked down the third base line. Third base umpire Corey Blazer, he says he did not. 2-1. The 2-1. Up high. Misses. 3-1. 3-1 count. Max Fried is 95th pitch of the night. Right there, 95 on the outer cut. Kisses the black. It's 3-2. Standing on deck is Suarez, who has scored the only run of the night. He had the big home run last night, too. 2 balloon curveballs to him that have gone yard. The 3-2 pitch. Went around, strike 3. Fastball well high out of the zone. Kind of an excuse me, oh, shoot, didn't mean to swing that pitch. 2 away. 2 down. Max is going back against Suarez. First pitch, 4-seam fastball, high and out of the zone, 1-0. The 1-0. right there. Top of the zone for a strike, 1-1 slider. Suarez 1 for 2 with that home run. The 1-1 from Max. Kicks and fires. Swing! Rattles it foul and out of play. 1-2. Braves and Padres tomorrow night. Unless they do something out of the ordinary, it'll be Schwellenbach on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Up top misses, 2-2. 2-2 count. Right now it's set to be Schwellenbach versus Vasquez. Raylo versus Waldron is the 2-2. Misses high, ball 3-3-2. So once again, nibbling and a full count to Suarez. He went with the bender last time and he blasted it over the center field wall. See where Max and Sean decide to go this time. The payoff pitch, they set up inside. Up top misses, ball 4. Schwellenbach and Vasquez tomorrow night. Raylo and Waldron Saturday night. And then Sunday afternoon should be a pretty good game. 4:10 first pitch. Chris Sale versus Dylan Cease. And then we head to the All-Star break. Lefty-lefty matchup now. Corbin Carroll the batter. First pitch in the dirt. 1-0. I would say come hell or high water, this is his last batter. Going up against the left-hander Corbin Carroll, who has struggled against lefties. Max Fried's at 103 pitches, but remember, he won't pitch again for about a week or so. The 1-0, curveball right there, belt high, 1-1. We've seen Waldron before. Yelton's asking about him. We've seen Waldron before. He's got a knuckle ball, one of the few knuckleball pitchers still left in baseball. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball, top of the zone. Might have been a touch high, but it's 1-2. We did not see Dylan Cease that time around when we faced the Padres. Waldron pitched a gem against us. So a 1-2 count. Lefty-lefty. Fried pitch is a curveball down and away. That curveball tonight, it's just kind of flat. It doesn't have quite the spin and the drop. Normally when Max's curveball is hitting, it's a teardrop at the knees and hard to hit, but tonight it's just kind of flat and missing the zone entirely or hanging up like it did against the home run against Suarez. Max is going to step off the mound for a second. He looks cooked. If you look in his face, he looks absolutely cooked. A little surprised they still have him out there. The 2-2. Curveball swatted foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. Max is at 107 pitches. He looks like he's ran a marathon if you look at his face. And they're still going out there with him. Braves trail just 1-0. Grant Holmes is ready in the pen. The 1-2 for Max. Lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider got him. That'll end the inning. So thankfully they stayed away from that curveball. We'll head to the top of the 7th, trailing by just 1. We got to get Max some runs, man. He deserves better than this. You're listening to Braves Country Radio.
Do Irish people love being miserable all the time? Yeah, we do. It's good, clean fun. But yeah, I'll complain about your nephew who I never met and tell people what I think he should be doing with his life. I'll sit down on my chair over there for an hour and be absolutely outraged about the Germans, thinking they can steal drinking from the Irish. Positivity will only get you so far. I encourage you, sit down in front of the fire with a nice cup of tea and think about how your best friend doesn't deserve the car that he has because he does for nothing. It's good for you. We might be a bit cantankerous, but that's what allows us to go out and have a bit of crack in the evening.
As the 1959 World Series got set to open on the south side of Chicago, for the first time in 40 years, there was a feeling of joyful anticipation.
When you're in the minor leagues for 8.5 years and you come in and get in the World Series your first year, I really didn't even realize how fantastic a thing it was, seeing the police escorting all the banners up and crowds, just the glamour of it all.
The decade of the 50s had been a time of great stability on and off the field. The 60s would bring explosive change across the country, but baseball would continue to provide a welcome oasis of continuity. Just like the 50s, the role of the National League's premier team would fall to the Dodgers, who were only just beginning to win in Los Angeles. They would capture 3 pennants and 2 World Series in the 60s.
The Dodgers win 2-1 and sweep the series in 4 straight. All bedlam breaks loose on the field.
The Braves' run as a powerhouse was at an end. They would take many years to reclaim World Series glory. The team would move to Atlanta in 1966 and would not win a championship until 1995.
The team of the 90s has its world championship.
Welcome back. Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail 1-0. Time to get it going here with Austin Riley. First pitch to Riley is a fastball, misses high from Ginkel, who's new into the game. It's 1-0. We've seen Ginkel a few times in this series, the 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. Kevin Ginkel, talked about this before, but at one point he was a closer. Kind of bounced all over the bullpen. The 2-0 pitch swung on. That ball is roasted into the gap. Up against the fence. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Mr. Austin Riley into the left field corner. Accidentally said gap. I meant the left field corner. There's a huge cavern back there that it rattled around like a pinball. Nonetheless, it's a leadoff double for the Braves. Braves have the tying run 180 feet away. Matt Olson comes to the plate. First pitch, swing. Fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. Braves 0. Arizona 1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. Fouls it back. 96. About letter high. 0-2. So no 2 count. Ginkel has came in 2 other times in this series. He's thrown 2 innings, no earned runs. The 0-2, swung on, fouled straight back. Do it again. 97 up top. He can definitely bring it. Standing on deck is Marcelo Ozuna. The 0-2 pitch. Up high. Tried to get him to chase one out of the zone. 1-2. So 1-2 count. Ginkel comes set. Looks back at Riley at second. The pitch. High and out of the zone. 97. That one was helmet high. Evens up the count. 6'4", 235-pounder. The 2-2. Inside 96 miles an hour. Misses. Full count. He'll throw a 4-seamer about half the time and then mix in a sinker and a slider. The payoff pitch. Swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground over to second, bobbled by the second baseman. Olsen was kind of Cadillacing it down to first. He might have had that a much closer play had he been hustling, but instead it's an easy out, 4-3 put out. Riley was thinking about going once the ball was juggled. But instead, he'll stay put, and that'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna, 1 for 2. First pitch, takes a swing at that slider off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Ginkel comes set. Kicks it. Fastball misses high. 1-1. 1-1 count. 1-0 your score. Broken bat, a blooper, anything would get Riley home and get it down into the outfield. The 1-1 right there at the knees, 96 miles an hour, good pitch. 1-2. On deck is Adam Duvall. If you're wondering what we have on the bench tonight, it's Anderson, Short, White, and Darnode. 1-2 count. The pitch in the dirt, 2-2. We don't have that left-handed bat to come off the bench, so we don't really have an option to pinch hit against a righty for anyone higher in the lineup. The 2-2. Sure, that's one of the things Anthopoulos is probably working on. The 2-2. Ginkel turns around, chases Riley back to the bag. The 2-2 from Ozuna. To Ozuna. Runner at second, 1 out. The pitch. In the dirt, ball 3. Full count to Ozuna. Duvall. And if they keep it going, Rosario and then Murphy. Arizona clinging to a 1-run lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Ginkel comes set, his 16th pitch of the outing. Lets it go. Caught, looking, strike 3. What in the world was Ozuna doing? A payoff pitch was on a platter for Ozuna, and he just never moved the bat. Wow. 2 away. Up to that point, a great at bat to get it to where it was, and then just he spit the bit. 2 down. First pitch on the way to Duvall is out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0 Arizona, top of the 7th inning. Inning started off with a leadoff double to Riley, but he's been stranded. The 1-0 swung on, banged over to third. Easy 5-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. When your number 6 hitter is batting 183, these things happen. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Looks like you got some stuff going on. Want to tell me what you did? Want to tell me who you did? Was it a boy?
Sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. The question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? The sun is a mighty powerful heat that is almost impossible to go near the sun. The moon is more manageable.
We'd like to know from you how you think it's going so far.
I mean, I think it's off to a great start. I feel like I'm overqualified for this position, if I'm being honest. And I like the team, but I think I have trouble with Amanda. I feel like sometimes she can just be such a I don't have to
okay, so Amanda's sitting in on this. She's
right here, Brian.
Oh, hey, you. I was just talking about our client, Amanda.
I don't think you have any clients named Amanda.
I don't think you have any clients at all.
He had a way of tipping off his pitches. If he was pitching a fastball from the windup, he'd have his elbows out like this before the pitch. And if he was going to pitch a curveball, his elbows would be tucked in against him. So every batter knew exactly what he's going to be doing. Of course, the pitches were so good it didn't make any difference. They couldn't hit either one of them.
Lead him 4-0. Here's Mickey Mantle. Now the windup by Sandy. He delivers. It's a strike call. The 4th straight strikeout for Sandy Koufax.
Casey Stengel believed him the best pitcher in baseball history. Forget the other fellow, he said, meaning Walter Johnson. You can forget Waddell. The Jewish kid is probably the best of them.
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising.
I'm Teddy Powers! I'm the man who has the ball, so that is why I am better than everyone in the world.
Grant Holmes, a.k.a. Kenny Powers, coming on to the mound. First pitch on the way from Holmes. 83-mile-an-hour curveball right there at the knees. The 0-1. Righty. Lets her rip in the dirt. 1-1. So 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swung on, foul back out of play. 1-2. Braves nothing. Arizona 1. Newman standing at the plate. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chase that slider off the plate.
Good night, Newman.
Check swing. One of those ones you don't really mean to swing, but you just can't help it. 1 down. First pitch on the way to Perdomo. Swung on, popped up. High into foul territory. Going over, making the catch is Adam Duvall to away. All three of the guys over there could have made the play. Ozzie would have had the toughest one, but they all pretty much made it over there. Olsen made it well down the line. I mean, that's almost in the corner of the outfield, and Olsen just... Duvall finally called everybody off. He's probably a little surprised that everyone's hanging out there with him down there in the deep corner of the right field. 2 down, and that'll bring the top of the order up. Ketel Marte, first pitch on the way. Fastball, 95 miles an hour. Up top, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Just realize all this. These late nights are getting to me. We didn't do a 7th inning stretch. The 0-1 pitch swung on, hit into center field. That's going to be caught by Kid Kelenic, and that'll end the inning. Just like that, a 1-2-3. We're going to do the stretch now because we missed it before. There's no rules. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Max, a woman in my section
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising.
I'm Teddy Powers! I'm the man who has the ball, so that is why I am better than everyone in the world.
All right! I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the find me something up and crack the jack. I don't care if I have to get back on the creek. Root for the
Plesac before as the Atlanta Braves come in, trying to get something going. Eddie Rosario, bottom of the line, due up. First pitch on the way. That ball is hammered over to first. Line drive caught by Christian Walker. My God, is he making some Gold Glove plays. One away. I've never known him for his defense. You always see him being bragged upon about his bat, but man, he has made some great defensive plays this whole series. Really impressed by that man. Leaping jump. Eddie couldn't believe it because it looked like it was heading down the right field line. First pitch on the way to Murphy is taken for a strike at the knees. 92-mile-an-hour sinker. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Slider outside wide. 1-1. Ryan Thompson. 6'5", 32-year-old. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. So a 1-2 count, and Travis d'Arnaud is standing on deck. So he will bat for Arcia, and then Short will take over. The 1-2. Outside wide, 2-2. Thompson was drafted by the Astros back in 2014 out of Campbell College in the 14th round. The 2-2. Inside. Did he go around? He may have. He did not. We'll take it. Full count. First base umpire Todd Titchener, who will be behind the dish tomorrow night, wherever they roam. The payoff pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back. Over towards the warning track. Slam it into the wall. Making the catch is McCarthy, 2 away. Just got a little too much air underneath it. That was going to be extra bases if it fell. That ball was going all the way to the wall, but McCarthy was able to get over there just in time. Impressive defensive play by McCarthy. Two down. Travis d'Arnaud comes to the plate. Braves trail by 1. One swing would tie it up. Righty-righty matchup. d'Arnaud sets up. Pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. On this date in 1950, the Midsummer Classic returns to Comiskey Park, the game's first venue, with the National League winning 4-3. Thanks to Red Schoenreis' 14th inning home run, as the 0-1 grabs the outer edge for a strike 0-2. His 14th inning home run wins the game. The All-Star game features many firsts. First extra inning contest, the first time the National League wins at an American League park, and the first time it will be broadcasted on national television. That was on this date in 1950. The 0-2, away outside wide, 1-2. 1-2 count. Any way you cut it, Sean Murphy swinging the bat well. Even with that ball getting caught out there in the outfield, I mean, he put a charge of that. In a lot of stadiums, that thing is out. If we're at home, it's a tie game. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. He is missing with that slider pretty wide. The 2-2 count. The pitch. Outside wide, ball 3-2. Went to the slider in this at bat. 4 pitches in a row. One barely hit the zone, the other 3 nowhere near it. The payoff pitch in the dirt, ball 4. That was the sinker this time, but Travis d'Arnaud fights his way aboard. And your Atlanta Braves will bring the go-ahead run to home plate in the form of Jared Kelnick. Looked like they may be going up there and talking, maybe pulling. D-backs pitching coach, Brent Strom, is at the front top of the stairs, but he held up. I guess he's going to stay put. Jared Kelenic, the batter. Righty, lefty. Zach Short will come on to run for Darnode and stay in to play defense. First pitch, right there, inside. Didn't get the call. It's 1-0. That might be an effect of missing 4 consecutive pitches. That one did appear to hit the zone, but he also missed his target. They were set up outside wide, and that was well in. The 1-0, down and away, 2-0. Standing on deck is Ozzie Albies. You almost wonder if they may be pitching around Kelenic because Ozzie swings much heavier bat on the right side of the plate, and he has struggled the last few games. They're going to go out there and have a quick powwow with Thompson while they do that. On this date, 1958, the L.A. City Council declares today, "Take me out to the ball game day," to celebrate the iconic baseball's 50th anniversary. In a pregame ceremony at the L.A. Coliseum, the Dodgers honor lyricist Jack Norworth, presenting him with a lifetime pass to any American or National League game. Of course, he was well into his 80s at that point. The 2-0 pitch swung on, just got a piece of it, chopped it foul off the plate. 2-1. 2-1 count. Braves nothing, Arizona 1. Zach Short stands on first. Anything in the gap would score. The 2-1 pitch down below the knees. 3-1. Ozzie Albies waiting on deck. There are 2 outs. But the go-ahead run is at home. The tying run is at first. Ozzie in the hole, or Ozzie on deck, raking the hole. The 3-1, swing and a miss over the top of his sinker. It was well out of the zone, 3-2. Feels like Kelenic is pressing a little bit too much. Short. Getting a pretty good lead over there at first. The payoff pitch. Outside wide, ball 4. So now the tying run goes to second, and a single would tie this game. Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. Ryan Thompson's cursing himself. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, is coming out there to talk to him. When they do that, we're going to hit a couple of turn-back times that we didn't get to earlier in the week. In this week in 1941, thanks to a dramatic 2-out bottom of the 9th, 3-run home run by the Red Sox, outfielder Ted Williams, the American League All-Stars beat the National League in Detroit 7-5. The splendid splinter, dramatic drive on a 1-1 pitch thrown by Claude Passaw off the right field press box makes the Briggs Stadium contest the first Midsummer Classic decided in the final inning. That was in 1941, the summer before Pearl Harbor. Ozzie Albies comes to the plate. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Open stance from the left side. Ozzie 0 for 3, the pitch. Swing, slices it back foul. It's 0-1. Braves nothing, Arizona 1. 8th inning. Standing on deck is Austin Riley. The 0-1. Haven't peeked into their bullpen, but I can't imagine they would let, if he walked Ozzie here, I can't imagine they would let him face Riley with the bases loaded, but you never know. The 0-1. Thompson brings it. Swing. Chopped it over to first, and that's the worst place to hit it because you know Christian Walker's not making an error. He steps on the bag after a high chopper to him. That'll end the inning. Braves threaten but fail to score. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Hey, does anybody else feel angry as hell whenever somebody's in the kitchen at the same time as you? Or is it just me?
This is the absolute chaotic career of Doc Ellis. He once pitched a no-hitter under the influence of LSD. In 1971, he finished 4th in Cy Young voting after finishing with a 19-9 record and a 3.06 ERA. During a game in 1974, he attempted to hit every batter in the Reds lineup and would only make it through 4 of them before the manager pulled him from the game. That same year, he won 8 consecutive games in 9 out of 10, pitching 7 complete games in that 10-game stretch. He admitted that wearing curlers produced sweat on his hair that he used to throw a modified version of the spitball. During the 1975 season, he was asked to pitch out of the bullpen. He refused not once, not twice, but 3 times before they suspended him for 1 game. After joining the Yankees in 1976, he won Comeback Player of the Year, winning 17 games, which was good for 8th in the American League. While pitching for the Oakland A's, he was asked to keep charts. Instead, he set them on fire inside the clubhouse, which in turn set off the sprinklers. All in all, Doc Ellis had a pretty great career, hitting double digits in wins in 8 of his 12 seasons. Not only that, he finished with a very respectable 3.46 ERA. Although his career had its ups and downs, I think it's safe to say he had a pretty successful career and shouldn't be just remembered for 1 no-hit.
1967. It was a tumultuous year and a decade of change. In the grip of often unsettling social unrest, America would see outbreaks of violence and eruptions of youthful rebellion.
1967 was one of the most unique years in American history, with everything was going on, a civil rights movement, a hippie movement, free love, tremendous unhappiness at the Vietnam War.
But despite all the turmoil, there was still baseball to be played, and for the players, playing the game was as important as ever.
Go back to any of the wars, any of the economies. It's a place where people can go and simply relax and to forget all their troubles and just concentrate on an afternoon of entertainment.
Welcome back. Grant Holmes is back in there. He fires the first pitch to Moreno. Swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her rip. Curveball down and away, 1-1. If you're not familiar with the story of Grant Holmes is not some young rookie, some rookie phenom that we found. Grant Holmes is the 1-1 pitch. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Went with the curveball that time. Holmes is 28 years old, but he was drafted by the Dodgers in the first round in 2014, 11 seasons ago. High school prospect out of Conway, South Carolina. He did not make his major league debut until he put on an Atlanta Braves uniform a few weeks ago. The 1-2 pitch swung on, blasted into right center field. Cutting it off is Kelnick. He'll fire it into the infield, get it to short and short. Almost had to play it first to catch the runner napping. Moreno's back to first base with a leadoff single. Good defensive play, good defensive hustle by Kelnick. If that ball gets to the gap, that's problems. That would have been 2, maybe even 3. 1 on, nobody out. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Grichuk, who's 1 for 3. Is a fastball outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Down below the knees. Ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 count. The pitch on the way. Outside wide. 3-0. So Holmes struggling a little bit in his second inning of work here. He's 14 pitches in. The 3-0. Fastball right there on the outer edge. 3-1. See the question about Sewald. So he has pitched 2 of the last 3 days. Before that, he had not pitched since July 5th. The 3-1 swung on, fouled straight back 3-2. So I would think he would be available, but I don't know what the overall mindset of that coaching staff is. But I would think Sewald is who Riley's gonna. Is it 3-2's outside? 3-2 count. They throw it over to first. Keep the runner close. The 3-2 pitch. Kicks and fires. Swung on. Banged on the ground to third. 5, 4. Ozzie lost his footing. Kept the tag on the bag. But was never going to get Grichuk. I don't think he was going to get Grichuk anyways because of the way that throw was. Kind of an off throw that the throw was heading towards the outfield. Good job by Ozzie to keep it from going, and his hand was on the bag to make sure that he was tagging it. Ozzie's motioning over to Riley, telling him to delete him the other way, which Riley knows that it was just a bad throw. 1 on, 1 out. And Christian Walker, who's made incredible defensive plays this entire series, including tonight, handful of them, stands at the plate. Walker's 0 for 3. The first pitch on the way, 94. Grabbed the top of the zone, but Holmes didn't get the call. It's 0-1. Back to the Sewald thing. I would think he's available. The middle of the order will be due up. The 1-0. High and inside. 2-0. 2-0 count. Righty. Pitch on the way. In the dirt, gets away, and the runner will move up to second. So not only is he in a scoring position now, but now that eliminates the double play. I think now that the Braves will be shading the infield to the left and back now, they were in double play depth. Snicker's going to come out there. He's getting Grant Holmes. They're going to go ahead and put Walker on, and runners on first and second, 1 out, and we'll head to break. They're going to go ahead and walk Walker to get to McCarthy. Looks like we got the lefty coming out of the pen, probably Lee.
You ever get somebody slide in your inbox and you think to yourself, I know I am not this damn ugly? Ain't no way.
Let me tell you about the perfect day. Perfect day is this. You wake up, you come to the beach, you get the chair, you drink the drinks, you read the books, you put on Jimmy Buffett radio, you get in the water, you come back to the chair, you drink the drinks, you read the books, you go up midday to have a turkey sandwich with Cheez-Its, you come back to the chair, you drink the drinks, you read the books, you spend the rest of the afternoon fantasizing about what seafood restaurant you're going to eat at that night. That is the perfect day.
I caught myself because I was shaving without water. And why was there no water? Because I had to move your chair, which guards the floor, which made me call for Joe, who found bad pipes, which called for Cecil, who ate the cat that killed the rat that lived in the house that got rid of it.
I either blow $800 in 3 days or stretch out $2 in 4 weeks. There ain't no in between.
1967. Baseball fans would have witnessed one of the most dramatic seasons in memory. But at the start, the game was in a serious state of flux. In the American League, the New York Yankees, who had won the first 5 pennants of the 1960s, had fallen on hard times and had finished in last place in '66. The Bronx Bombers were supplanted at the top of the league by the pitching-rich Baltimore Orioles. In their World Series matchup against the Dodgers, the Birds only gave up 2 runs in a stunning 4-game sweep.
And the Orioles are the new world champions.
But repeating in '67 was not going to be easy for the Orioles, as a group of...
Well, it's going to be A.J. Minter. I thought they might be bringing Lee in because he was up earlier. They're going to go ahead and go with Minter. Try to keep the game where it's at. Don't make the move here at all. At least they're being aggressive. should have came in last night against all the lefties. See if it works out now. He's being put into a tough spot. Runners on first and second. 1 out. McCarthy, the left-hander, stands at the plate. He hits lefties well. That's why McCarthy's hitting this high up in the order against the lefty Fried. The first pitch, swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. They still have Lourdes Gurriel. I thought they may go to him, but they decided not to. Herrera and Jock Peterson on their bench. The 0-1 swung on, slice foul down the line, 0-2. You can make an argument that Arizona's backup outfielders are better than our starting outfielders right now. I'm not talking about when we have Acuna and Harris, but I'm talking about right now. Gurriel and Peterson are sitting on the bench. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we've got Duval. The runner goes, and A.J. Minter's going to pick off the runner going from second to third. Thomas had actually came in to pinch run. He came in to pinch run for Grichuk, and he decided to try to steal third, and he gets grabbed on the wallet. Austin Riley gets him on the wallet. Now, the runner at first, Walker, did go up to second, but now there's 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch misses outside wide, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Lefty, lefty, down and away, 2-2. The 2-2. Kicks high, swings, slaps it back foul. We'll do it again. The 2-2. Kicks and fires. Swing. Lifts it high down the line, but fouling out of play. We'll do it again. Got a runner at second, 2 outs. I just saw what was going on there, what y'all were talking about in the chat. Sorry, I missed it. Good job, Charlie. That should eliminate it going forward as well. We added something to it. The 2-2 pitch. Lets her rip. Swung on, chopped foul. We'll do it again. Standing on deck, Suarez. The only run of the game belongs to him. The 2-2. Right there at the knees. Caught, looking, strike 3. That'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash heading to the top of the 9th inning. The Braves trail by just 1.
Stop eating so much cheese. This is how much cheese you're allowed to eat, according to health insurance provider Bupa. So get your small matchbox out and measure it, you big whale. Does this look like a normal amount of cheese to eat? Wrong. You're gonna die. No health insurance for you. I'm just about to tuck into my normal amount of pasta. You're dead. You're only supposed to have 3 spoons. Hopefully you enjoy heaven, you fat. Next time I'm having a night of romance, I'm gonna tell her, it's not small. That's the recommended serving size. And if you're not satisfied with it, you may ring Bupa and check your facts. Now leave. I'm not in the mood anymore. And take this small box of matches with you for future reference.
Bob was the intimidator, not the intimidatee.
Gibson delivers.
You know, there are a lot of guys that want to win, okay, in life. They want to be winners. That wasn't the case with Gibson. Gibson despised losing. And when he went to the mound, you weren't going to beat him.
In each year that the Dodgers had won the pennant, Koufax had won the Cy Young Award and pitching's Triple Crown.
Sandy Koufax gets his second consecutive shutout of the Twins.
You're the best, Sandy. You're the greatest, baby.
Koufax's dominating performances had carried the Dodgers to glory, but Sandy had paid a heavy price for that success, as he often pitched through excruciating elbow pain. Finally, after the '66 World Series, he decided that he could no longer endure the agony. With Koufax abdicating his throne as the king of the hill, Bob Gibson of the St. Louis Cardinals was one of the pitchers most able to succeed Sandy. The intimidating right-hander was a dominating presence on the mound who beat teams with his arm and his attitude.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Austin Riley will lead us off here. Righty-righty matchup to get it going. First pitch on the way from Sewald. Their closer is high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Paul Sewald, 3.72 ERA. Now, this will be his third time in 4 nights going out there. The 1-0. Swung on, popped back foul. 1-1. Remember, he's the one that if y'all aren't familiar with Sewald, he actually started in Seattle. Pretty much always been a closer, the 1-1. Swing, fouls it back, 1-2. And you can't argue with his numbers that they've just always surprised me because every time you watch him pitch, he doesn't look like your typical closer nowadays. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he finds a way to get you out. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 91 up top. Like you would think the way he blew that by Riley that ball's coming in 96, 97. But it's more so his delivery. It's just kind of a funky delivery where he pushes the ball kind of deceptive. Matt Olson comes to the plate. First pitch up top. Calls that for a high strike. It's 0-1. Manny Gonzalez doing Manny Gonzalez things. He never knows what a strike and what isn't a strike. The 0-1 from Sewald. High and inside. That one he calls a ball. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Sewald comes set. Kicks and fires. High and out of the zone. Four-seam fastball, 90 miles an hour, 2-1. Sewald was actually drafted by the Mets and came up with the Mets. Then went out to Seattle in 2021 where he really started to blossom. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back, 2-2. He had 11 saves in 20 in 2022, and 34 saves total in 2023. He's traded to Arizona at the deadline. The 2-2 from Sewald. Swung on, lifted high, and deep into left field. Will it hold? Throw. The ball is caught. A leaping catch at the wall, robbing a home run from Matt Olson. That he went to the very top of the wall and caught it. If he's not standing there, it's a tie ball game. Unbelievable bad luck for Olson. Once again, in a lot of stadiums, that's out because they've got a deep left field out there. And Olson, I think he thought he got it. Twitter will be having their tinfoil hats on tonight, saying the balls are dead when Atlanta has them. First pitch on the way to Ozuna. It's down and away for a ball, 1-0. Unbelievable. First, I wasn't sure if he caught it or not, because when he caught it, leaped at the wall. For those of y'all listening on radio, he just kind of nonchalantly started jogging back to position, and you couldn't tell if he wasn't showing the ball or anything. This is the 1-0, outside wide 2-0. You couldn't tell if he had caught it or if it had gone over his head. Braves down to their last out. The 2-0 to Ozuna. He's 1 for 3 tonight. The pitch. Swing. That ball's hit hard into left field. That's going to get through for a base hit. And your Atlanta Braves got 1 on, 2 out. And Adam Duvall coming to the plate. Hard hit ball swatted into left. Duvall comes up to face Sewald. Sewald's 12 pitches into the night. Adam Duvall 0 for 3, now batting just 185. Righty-righty matchup. They set up high. The pitch, swing and a miss. Chase one well out of the zone. It's 0-1. He chased that 90-mile-an-hour pitch about 2-3 inches off the plate. I mean, that was almost pitch-out territory. If I'm Sewald, I continue to throw it if he's going to swing at it. The 0-1. Check swing. Pops that foul over towards the on-deck circle, 0-2. So he takes a massive cut at one nowhere near the zone, and then one that's right down the pipe about just below letter high. A hanging slider, he kind of plays pepper with it and slaps it behind home plate. So an 0-2 count. Anthopoulos has got to make some trades. These bats are cooked. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, chops it over to third. Another easy out. And Adam Duvall ends the game with a 5-3 putout. Braves lose another tough one. 1-0 your score. Max Fried played pitched a very good game. You can't hate on Max Fried. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. He went 108 pitches. The Braves lose at 1-0 because Atlanta gets 5 base hits. And lose at 1-0. No runs, 5 hits, no errors. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. It was the hanging curveball that did him in. But realistically, it was because the offense never did a thing. Guys that went hitless tonight. Kelenic 0 for 3, Ozzie 0 for 4. Kelenic got on with the walk. Riley went 2 for 4, and Ozuna went 2 for 4. If it weren't for them, Orlando Arcia's single is the only other hit. Rosario 0 for 3. Murphy 0 for 3. Duvall 0 for 4. Your Atlanta Braves lose a tough one. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. It is going to be another 9:40 first pitch, y'all. And we will start the show a little bit, about a half hour before first pitch. It's the final 9:41 of the week. And hopefully we can get a win. Schwellenbach on the mound tomorrow, and Raylo on the mound Saturday night. We'll see you next time, Braves Country. Tough one. Y'all have a great night, Braves Country. Braves lose a tough one. I mean, unbelievable. 1-0. So close on that Matt Olson swing. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could But get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. 7:15 by DM McGee, 2024. At 7:14, while enduring the hate, he carried the ghosts and stepped to the plate, echoing down from the great Yankee lore, the Bambino's shadow larger from days of before. Henry brushed back the pressure that loomed, threats from fanatics, knowing records were doomed. Into the box, and here comes the pitch. 7:15, it flipped like a switch. Fans escorted 44 round the bases. Hammer and Hank lit up their faces with smiles that unite as he wiped away tears. He hugged Mama tight for so many years. The Hammer had climbed the ladder to the top. A sigh of relief. Briefly, time stopped. We recall and rewind the impossible dream that night down in Georgia of 7:15. 7:15 by DM McGee, 2024.